Hey, what is up everyone? Pastor JAMZ here back with another review, and today we have the newest album by WILLOW, Lately I Feel Everything. This is the new album by Willow Smith, a part of the Smith family, consisting of Will Smith, Jada Pickett Smith, Jaden Smith, and Willow. Uh, Willow being the youngest, 20 years old, from California, and I think the Smith family is very talented. Jaden, they all dabble with music before. Jaden raps, Will Smith rapped before, and Willow now does various sounds of music, and caught me by surprise with this new album. Just released last week, 26 minutes and 11 tracks. Very interesting to see the features on this thing. Travis Barker, Cherry Glazer, Tierra, Avril Lavigne. Very interesting to see those. I thought this was going to be like a very sensitive and emotional album. Nope, caught me right. Well, it is emotional, but I thought it was going to be more slow, melancholy, and stuff like things of that nature. But nope, right off the bat, Transparent Soul, the first track on this thing featuring Travis Barker. Probably the best track on here too. Very moving and energetic by Willow. Something I really do appreciate by an artist is, they go out of their comfort zone. They do something that's not so much of their style. They are experimenting, and I appreciate that from an artist, even if it doesn't turn out well. The risk that they took is good enough, and um, does deserve some credit, even if it is not necessarily the best sounding thing ever. This is a pop punk album, and something I noticed while giving this my last listen on YouTube. I use streaming platforms, by the way, but that's whatever. Um, Something I noticed was the perception of the public of this album. I saw that there were views on this these tracks, but not necessarily a lot of likes. The like to dislike ratio was very kind of wonky in a sense. Yeah, there were likes, maybe like a few 500, but then you have a lot of dislikes. Maybe you'll get like 50 dislikes or 30 dislikes. I know that doesn't seem like much, but the ratio to that is kind of weird given the fact that this just came out and I haven't seen a ratio like that in a while. I'm not really sure how this is being perceived by the public, but honestly, this I don't see how this can get a lot of hate. Yeah, it's not the breakthrough of a punk record, but this is very fresh, new, and innovating, considering how young she is and talented. I think this does deserve a listen and some credit. It's not like she's just slapping a pop punk album out there. I feel like throughout this whole thing, she did provide energy. There are emotions and raw sensitivity that just comes out of her, and through her music that is presented here in this album. Um, so yeah, getting that out of the way, the production on this thing is amazing. Great job by Travis Barker from Blink 182. The whole thing is very moving. Feels exactly like a punk rock album. Uh, something I also appreciate as well is how fresh this album sounds. Doesn't sound like a recording that was done over and over and over, fleshing out the fat and the flaws of whatever was becoming of this album. Sounds like they did this in the garage, or like a live session. It feels very lively, kind of like a teenage pop punk band trying to become something. And I love that feeling. It feels so fresh and innovating. Um, doesn't necessarily they let the flaws become what the album is, and doesn't let provides essence and elements to the album that would kind of feel more constricted and boring, honestly, if they were to flesh out the mistakes or whatever, little nuances here and there, if they recorded it over and over again to make this perfect. But yeah, I appreciate that as well. um, Kind of gives element to and themes to the album, of like this whole messaging of relationships and moving on from somebody, and then you move on to this next person, realizing that they're the exact same way and they show signs of the last person before them. There something that she also discusses is like technology and how society is fixed on just being brain dead, watching whatever crap is on, and not really, even if the person likes the thing that they're watching or not liking it, we're just accustomed to being so fixated on technology that she calls for like a wake up call. I appreciate that a lot as well, and haven't heard a theme like that isn't so much explored, uh, so recently. Uh, then you have elements like self worth and things of that nature. Uh, just a really feel good energy album all around. Yeah, it's really sensitive and emotional, but not so much where she's a crybaby or anything like that. Uh, However, the self loving grow track, so the flaws and the downsides really do come at the end of this album. The ending tracks like "Grow" but featuring Avril Lavigne featuring Travis Barker, and "Extra" featuring Tierra Whack. Yeah, they are more of like a pop like tracks, but I feel like it strips away of what this album is trying to be. And honestly, "Grow" is probably the worst track on here. Too pop like for me. Kind of like a really cheery kind of self-loving type of track. Too much for me, honestly. Wouldn't really find myself listening to this again. But the extra as well. More of like a rap style pop track. Kind of wanted more of the punk elements from her. Honestly, but you do have melancholy type tracks. More sad strings. Sensational vocals from Willow and Ayla Tesler-Mabe on "Come Home." Uh, this track I do like a lot, and really a change of pace, given that it's halfway through the album. Like I said, Willow Smith can really provide a range of vocals. She can be really gritty and grungy, provide very hard hitting vocals, and she could also be very sensitive and provide very beautiful vocalistic type sounds. But yeah, that is kind of all I have to say. The Cherry Glazer feature, yeah, it was pretty good, but the track was kind of decent at the end. Just kind of like an outro. But yeah, the whole thing is very well put together and a good 7. I'm giving the latest album by Willow. Lately I Feel Everything a good 7. If you want to hear something that's pop punk or punk in general, something experimental from a female standpoint, uh, give this a listen. And really short, sweet, and to the point. Um, maybe probably like the first track right off the bat, as I did. Very moving album, emotional, very sensitive, and great job by Willow Smith. That is the review. Thank you all for tuning in, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe with a friend. And see you all in the next review. Peace and stay safe.